Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ironade, and I'm here to show you guys the best FPS and visibility guide to give you the most FPS out of your whole entire game. I know some of you guys did buy Black Ops 6, and Warzone 4 is right around the corner coming out this Thursday, and I know you guys want the best FPS guide. Well, I'm here to show you guys. This does mostly work for PC users, but this could be beneficial to some console users with some of the visibility and graphical changes. And I'm here to show you guys. Now follow this tutorial right and correctly and you guys will have a big improvement in your FPS. Now today we're going to start out with display mode. Display mode is your whole entire game. So we got windowed mode is your resize movable, but I want to tell you guys, you make sure it's on full screen exclusive. Why I do full screen borderless because I'm a streamer. So I like to, you can move around in all your windows together. So make sure it's at full screen exclusive. Your display monitor, your display adapter should be the native. So mine is your regular main monitor that's right in front of you, and then your display adapter should be your graphics card. Because they don't really do SLI no more. So it's just going to be your main graphics card that's your computer. Your refresh rate should be your highest refresh rate. Mine is 165. Yours could be 240. Yours got to be 60 frames, 120, whatever it is. Make sure it's at auto. My display resolution is 1440p. Most of you guys are probably at 1080p or even 4K. Mine is a 2K. Your aspect ratio is normally 16:9. Some of you guys might have wide ultra screens, but normally it's going to be 16:9. When you're done with all these graphical changes you're about to make in this video, make sure you restart your shaders. So these shaders will adjust the game to your new settings. Your display gamma has to be 2.2 unless you're on a TV, which I know most of you guys are all on a monitor. But unless you are on a TV, you gotta do 2.4. But your 2.2 should be your regular. Your gamma brightness is just your brightness of the game. So if it's too high, it's going to be really bright in game. If it's too low, you're not going to see the game. It's gonna be like ultra black. It's gonna be black game. You know what I mean? Your NVIDIA reflex low latency is basically if your Wi-Fi is not the best or your GPU, if your CPU is using too much inside of your GPU, so we call that a bottleneck. So if your CPU is bottlenecking your GPU, you want to go for on plus boost. If your GPU is not bottlenecking, your CPU not bottlenecking, go for off. But I keep mine on because I don't know, I like the smooth. I think it makes the game a little bit smoother. For sustainability, these you don't really have to mess with it, but I will tell you a few things. Eco mode makes it so your menu's not using too much FPS. VSync is so if you look on the side, VSync adds a kind of like it kind of messes up with your screen with these little lines. It tears up your screen. It's called screen tearing. And if you have that off, which you want to make sure you have off, because if you have it on, it's going to add more delay. So if you have a really bad monitor, if you're like 60 FPS and a 60 Hz monitor, I would put it on because it's more beneficial to you so you don't get no screen tearing. But if you have a really high frame rate monitor, there's no point of putting VSync on. I'll just keep it off. VSync, you can keep this on. I just keep it on 100. You can turn it off if you want, but just keep it at 100. Your custom frame rate. So this is up to you. Putting it unlimited, your PC is going to be working harder to keep that maintained frame rate to unlimited, but it's also going to give you the most out of it. For me, I just put gameplay custom frame rate limit to 250. And your menu custom frame limit to 120 for your menu, so your menu is not using that much frames. And your out of focus custom frame rate. This means if you kind of tab out your game, your out of tab won't use too much frame rate in the game, so you can watch, like if you're watching a Twitch stream and you just want to go tab over to the Twitch stream, then the Twitch stream will lag. It's gonna be like it's normal. So you want to keep this at 30. All right, we're gonna go quality. You're gonna want to put the custom. Make sure your render resolution is at 100, or you're gonna get some graphical glitches. Your dynamic resolution turn off. Just don't turn it on. No one likes it. All right, for ups, this is really important. So upscale and sharpening. There's like a lot of different ones, but you're most likely not gonna use mostly any of these, except like 2 or 3 options. For NVIDIA users, use DLS. DLS will make sure it kind of like downscales your quality, but also upscales at the same time, giving you a higher fresh rate. So it's going to downscale those textures on walls that you see. It's going to give you a much higher frame rate. That's mostly where your boost of frame rate in this video is going to come from, is DLSS. And they have 2 different options. I mean 4 different options. You got ultra performance, you got performance, you got balance, and quality. Quality, you're not gonna get FPS. You're not gonna get FPS boost from quality. It's just gonna give you better quality in games. It's gonna make it look a little bit more sharpened and a little bit more nice looking. So and balance offers both optimized performance and image quality. You're gonna get really good FPS, but you're also gonna get good quality too. So it's like quality mode, but just more FPS and just a little bit lower graphical performance. Performance is what I keep it at, because we're all here for the FPS. Because why won't we be here for? Offers a higher performance boost in balance mode. So if you want more FPS, I would put it on performance. Ultra performance doesn't do nothing. I'll be honest with you guys. I'm gonna keep 100% with you guys. There's no point in putting on ultra performance, because it does nothing. Yes, it offers the highest performance boost. No, it doesn't. It does nothing. You're maybe get like 3 FPS, but it's not the big of a difference. Just keep it at performance. You're getting a little bit good quality, not that much, but you're also getting a higher FPS. If I turn performance off, you're going down like 30 FPS. So keep performance on. For you AMD, I can't really speak on you guys, but you can either use Fidelity CAS, or AMD FSR3, which is the same thing as DLS, but for AMD users, for people who have like the Radeon graphics cards. I've always seen VRAM scale target at 90, because it helps your graphics card have it doesn't limit your graphic VRAM scale, so it doesn't really limit your VRAM, so you can keep it either 90 or 80 or 70. So like if I put this down, it's just gonna be 55. So 55 is probably around here. And you're gonna get FPS decrease. So I would just keep it at 90. Go to texture resolution. So this will make all your textures look really nice. So if I put this ultra, you're gonna see a big increase. Look, very low. VRAM usage goes sparks up. So this actually helps this does not help your FPS. So putting it low actually helps. It gives you boosted FPS it will basically make your textures not look as nice. Look at this image at low, very low. Look how bad these textures look. But if you put it at very quality, it's gonna look really nice on these walls and cars and stuff. These textures are gonna look really crisp and very high. But you also get a really bad FPS drop. So put it at low if you want the best FPS. Texture filter and dropped it. Keep this at normal. This just adds a better look at angles, which you're not really care if you're going fast paced, because the FPS game. Put it at normal. Depth of field, keep it off, because it's just really bad. It's gonna have so if you're out of focus, it's gonna add a big blur. You don't want that blur. It's gonna affect your gameplay. So turn it off. The detail quality, it just subs up by the name. It just makes it look sharper. Like, look at this. This is with it and basically like low or normal. Look at that text quality, but when you turn it to high, look at that. You can see a big improve, but it's also doesn't really affect your FPS, but it affects like 4 FPS. It's up to you. I keep mine at normal. And then we're gonna move on to particle resolution. This just adds particles like, you know, flames coming out of flames and stuff. That's your particle resolution. This has heavy impact on GPU and low on VRAM, which does mess with FPS when you're around particles. So you can, cause I'm on a like a medium high end computer, I keep mine at normal, but for you who are lower, keep it at very low or low. Well, impact. This doesn't really have an effect on FPS. It's just when you're shooting at a texture, like a surface, it's gonna have bullet. It's like a bullet frag on it. You can see like a little indent in the like a building or an indent in the wall. So keep bullet impacts off, but I keep it on. System effects. Put this. I actually don't know what this does, but just put it on. Shader quality. This is really important with FPS. This doesn't affect it. Really, it does affect your FPS. So you see right here, the lower it is, the not really shader it is. Like no really shadow. It doesn't add that little effect right there. So this does mess with your FPS. It does lower it really bad. Like on Skyline, it has water on the ground. So I would keep it at low. On demand texture, it will really give you a boost in quality. If you turn this off, it doesn't. So it actually downloads shaders and textures from your files instead of only uploading from the game servers, which uses a lot of FPS. It makes your game look really bad. So if I was for you, if you have good internet, put this on. If you don't have that good of internet, put it at minimal, which doesn't use that much. Locate texture streaming quality. So this actually, if you're on larger maps, it does look really good, which is the same thing as this. It just gives you local textures which come straight from your hard drive or your SSD. Shadow lighting. So this is really important. This actually, so you know how shadows work. So if this is on high, it's going to be really laggy. You're gonna get lower FPS. Screen space shadows. So your shadows will show, like right here. You see how the weapon causes a shadow on the weapon or on your hand. It does take like 3 to 4 FPS. So I would keep it on low because you're not really gonna notice while you're in combat. Or you could turn it off. All inclusion screen space lighting. Put this at medium because you're not really gonna need it. Screen space reflection, keep this off. This is just like the weapon, but for you see how the red more reflects on here, the red doesn't reflect, so keep this off. It's just unnecessary FPS loss. Static, you can either keep this on high or low. You're not gonna get a big FPS drop from it. You maybe get like 1 or 2. But for you guys who need FPS, just turn it on low. Test installation, just put it off because you don't really need it. Voltramatic, this is a big one too. So this is actually a really big one with FPS. It's an FPS hogger for unnecessary. So you know how fog works? This is just like fog. It's just like fog, clouds, lightning. It's unnecessary FPS also. Keep it at low. Deferred physics quality. Put this at low or off. It's unnecessary FPS loss. You're not really gonna be looking at water. You're not gonna look at water at all. So keep it off. This actually has really nothing on your FPS. Either put it as normal or off. I put it at normal. I don't really care. I don't really notice it. You're not gonna notice it. Just do whatever you want. It's not really gonna be an FPS hogger. All right, we're gonna go to view. So motion reduction. I actually do not know what this is. It says it just you don't get no motion sickness. If you don't want motion sickness, turn this on. But I don't really think you guys really care. You're not on like a VR, so I'll just keep it off. This is only for zombies. If you're a zombie player, it's either if you want it on or off. So basically, this is if you're really scared of the zombies for you wisps, then turn this on. This is basically give you a friendly version of the zombie that looks more friendlier. If you want that, if you're a wisp, turn that on. Your field of view is really important for you sweats. Uh, I keep this 120, but this does hog your FPS because it's showing more of the screen for you guys. So you can either keep this on 120. Some people like to hog around 110, 120. But I know you guys who really do will love going fast. Put on 120 is what I keep it at. Affected. This is so your gun seems smaller. Which does that does lower your FPS a little bit because it's actually going to show more of the ground and the walls from the side. Like look right here. You see, independent, which means it's going to show more of this. And the affected means you're going to get this. So it's going to show more textures and walls and just the map all together. Your weapon, it doesn't matter. You can either put wide, narrow. I'm actually going to put this on wide. It's the same thing as this is basically just affected with for your weapon. For your third person view, just put it at 90. Vehicle, just put it at narrow. Wait, no, put it at wide. Motion blur, you guys should know this. Turn motion blur off, you're gonna hate it. Turn weapon motion blur off because it sucks too. Just turn it off. Your first person camera quality, camera movement, turn it at either 100, just whatever you want. It's all up to you. Whatever you guys like. I don't really mess with this guy. We're gonna go down. We're gonna go down to interface. This is for you PC players, so you guys have your FPS counter, server latency, your packet loss, your graphic card, GPU temperature, all this. Choose whatever you guys want. I usually keep my FPS counter on and let you guys know how much FPS you're getting. In games, this was really helpful. If keyboard and mouse players, here's my mouse settings. I have mouse sensitivity 8. ADS sensitivity multiplier 1, look inversion, standard, simplify control presets, low motor strain preset, mouse advanced settings. I'm going to show you guys the Windows settings so you guys get the most FPS too out of that. Because not all comes from the game. Some actually does come from outside the game. I'm going to show you guys right now.